take a look at number 7. Successful business owners believe having a life purpose backed up with a strategy and a set of measurable goals is critical for success. Successful business owners know that having a well thought out purpose, strategy, and measurable goals is very important, but how do they define this elusive term called purpose? You see, your purpose does not change. It's what you spend your life working to accomplish. Your purpose must be big. It must be worthy of your time on this planet. What do I mean by that? You see, you are exchanging your time on this planet for something, whether or not you acknowledge it or not. The question is that something worthy of you? There's an old expression that I've said it before on this program. It's the 2 most important days in your life are, you can say it with me, the day you're born and the day that you find out why. The finding out why process is through self-discovery and it's through declaration. You cannot spend all the days of your life trying to figure out why you're here. At some point, you need to take what it is that you have been able to ascertain from your experiences and your talents and make a decision and move forward with making progress along that road. Your strategy is the pathway or the roadmap to help you achieve your purpose. It is your high-level guiding posts to get you there. The goals that you need to form, we need to break them down a little bit. If the strategy represents your roadmap, your high-level view, your goals are pretty much your milestones. The goals are incremental steps within your strategy to move you towards your purpose. Goals will differ from your strategy in that they are more concrete and action-oriented. Goals should be able to be achieved within a short, finite period of time, a day, a week, a month, a year. Goals are the steps you take along the pathway to your vision. They move you closer to fulfilling your purpose and your strategy. So now that we've figured out and talked a little bit about what the goals are and what the strategy is relative to your purpose, let's take a step back. Successful business owners take time on an ongoing basis to define and evaluate where they are relative to their purpose, strategy, and goals. Do you do that? The masses view New Year's Eve or one's birthday as a day of reflection, but the successful business owner reflects on their progress every day. They're constantly thinking about their progress. They are constantly looking at and evaluating if they're on track. Now remember, the mind can only make progress on what it focuses on. Hence, the more you think about your purpose, your strategy, and your goals, the more progress you can make along this, as long as you actually take action. Successful business owners review their purpose, strategy, and goals every day. They understand that they have to keep their mind focused on it. They have it written down. It's committed to memory. It's sometimes even recorded, and they listen to it as they fall asleep at night. They are really committed to making sure their mind stays clear and on target. Now, these unsuccessful business owners, totally different group of people. You see, unsuccessful business owners have no desire to define their purpose, their strategy, and the goals. They move aimlessly through life. Perhaps they are a business owner that shoots from the hip. Somehow they figured out how to sell a widget in a marketplace. They make a little bit of money at it. Some of them might make a lot of money at it, but they won't necessarily be happy because at the end of the day, their business is a glorified job. I don't want that for you. I want you to enjoy your time here. So I want to give you a few action steps that can help you make this a little bit easier. So step 1 is to define your purpose. This was covered in an earlier section from what we've talked about in this program. I want you to develop your high-level your high-level strategy for how you're going to go from where you are to where you want to be. I want you to break down the goals in a clear time frame, what you're going to do to implement that strategy. I want you to review this statement every morning and every evening. And I want you to take time to clear your mind and to brainstorm new ideas that can move you along this trajectory. I want you to look for ways of gaining leverage, getting time back, being able to automate things that can be automated. And I also want you to keep this process, this introspective process, private. You see, like a newly planted seed, it's very sensitive to outside forces and influences. We need to allow for roots to grow within your consciousness before it's shared with others who might say something stupid and counterproductive and ruin all the work that you're doing. People sometimes, they don't mean to be careless, but they are. They say things that can destroy a new dream that you are cultivating in your mind. We're now moving to number 8. And number 8 is all about successful business owners believe it's possible to influence how their mind operates and constantly seek clarification for how they can do this better. You see, they're constantly trying to figure out how they can take better use of that amazing computer system that sits on their shoulders. They're always looking for ways of doing things in a quicker, faster, easier, more effective process. They are in love with books by Napoleon Hill and other famous authors who document the process of taking volitional control of your mind. You see, everything begins with thinking and defining what one wants and then convincing oneself that they deserve it and can get it. Many times we think about what we want, but we're not actually convinced that we deserve it and can have it. And guess what? We don't fully apply ourselves to get there. And then we wonder why we're not successful. Does that sound true for you? Has it ever happened to you this way? I know it's happened to me, but it's important that you have this tool that I'm giving to you, this awareness of what's going on. And it's through this awareness that you can make changes in your life. Once desire and belief are combined into a fiery passion with plenty of persistence and favorable results will be rendered in your life. Very, very important. It's not just enough to have clarity. You have to have the will to do what it takes, illegally and ethically, and you have to have the belief in yourself to take you through the difficult times to get there. We all know the story of Thomas Edison. How many times did he attempt to create that light bulb that he invented? Shout it out if you remember. If you don't know, it's 10,000 times. Would you take 10,000 attempts to create what it is that you're after? That's why he was successful. He conceived the idea, he believed in it with passion, he stayed on the course until he realized it. Now, unsuccessful business owners, you see, these folks, they make no differentiation between the mind and the brain. To them, it's just an organ, an electronic switching station. You see, that's what the brain is, but that's not what the mind is. They consider it to be just like the heart, the lungs, or the kidney, and they don't believe that they can proactively influence their mind on demand. And because they don't feel that they can influence their mind on demand, they're literally asleep at the steering wheel and wonder why their car moves from ditch to ditch to ditch and never stays on track. I want you to remember that metaphor because it's a good one to represent individuals who are not in volitional control of their mind. Let's take a look at some action steps that you can consider here. I want you to make the decision to take possession of your most valuable asset, your mind. Now, I realize that there are many distractions in life, and sometimes we may go off course and we may not be in full possession of our mind. But I'm very confident that because you are listening to this program, you're the type of person that can get back on track and get back in control of using your mind in a productive manner. Now, I want you to also make sure you have a strong enough why that's motivating you to acquire your results. If your why is not very strong enough, you will not be able to go through all of the difficult storms. You have to make sure that your belief and your desire are in line with the goals and objectives that you've set up. Because if you don't really believe that you can do it, neither will your customer. You need to eliminate all the negative forces that are around you and suck up energy like an energy vampire and surround yourself with nurturing environments and nurturing people. Number 8, never, never, never give up. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some time. But you are in control of whether you keep going forward or if you give up. Remember the difference between a defeat and failure. According to Napoleon Hill, the difference is failure is when you give up. You stop. A defeat is when you hit a setback. Now, there's nothing wrong to change your course correction if you have real intel, real information. But if you give up with the fire still burning inside of you, then that itself is failure.